All right, I'm going to use this other microphone. Sorry, everybody. Okay, can you hear me now? That is so strange. Okay, can you hear me now? All right. My microphone wasn't working for some reason, so I'm using the MacBook Pro microphone. Not the best, but it's what I have now. Let me go get back and get my co-star here. Hey, come here. All right, I'll put him up in a minute, but okay, I'll put him up. What are you eating? Puppies, they get everything. I don't know, he must have gotten a piece of thread off the floor or something. But anyway, this is Toshi. I'm sure you've seen a million pictures of him. He's 14 weeks old, and he's a big mess. He's a puppy, and he gets into everything. But I thought I would let him say hello before I got started talking about the bundle while people were still coming on. And he is my little sweetheart. But look, he's so big I can barely hold him now. And he was so tiny. We brought him home when he was 8 weeks old, and it's only 6 weeks ago, and he was just a tiny little thing, and now he's so big I can hardly hold on to him. But he's a good dog. He's really sweet, and he is very well behaved. He's trained pretty good. He's almost housebroken. He doesn't misbehave very much at all. So my other two boxers are 2 now, and they were a lot worse behaved dogs than Toshi. Toshi's a lot calmer and sweeter, and so anyway, he's going to be a good dog. I'm going to put him up because I can only hold him for so long. I'll get him back at the end so the people who came on later can see him, but I'm going to go put him over here where he's on his leash and he can't run around. Ugh. Okay. If I don't have him on a leash, he's kind of leashed to the couch, then he'll run around and start chewing up electrical cords and stuff like that. No, we don't want that. So I see a bunch of you are on. I'm really happy about that. And I wanted to just give you a little information about this bundle. I don't want to talk for too long because, that can get kind of boring. So I wanted to tell you about my contribution. That's not the most important thing, but to me it was a lot of work. It is plant-based Japanese 2. So some of you remember last year I introduced plant-based Japanese, and that was my first Japanese ebook, and that one was really popular. Lots of people got it, they liked it, they told me about it. So I started collecting more Japanese recipes throughout the year, and I put the ones that didn't make it into that one and this one, and then I also had a lot of new ones. A lot of hi Nancy, stop growing Toshi. Nancy says Nancy's seen him since she came to my house January 27th for one of my retreats, and we had just gotten him like 5 or 6 days before that, and so she saw him when we first brought him home, and he was just this tiny little thing. So she saw him the other day at my potluck, and so she's seen him now grow. Anyway, I'm glad you're on here, Nancy. Okay, anyway, plant-based Japanese 2. So I basically added some recipes I thought were pretty interesting, and I did do a little story, repeated the story about my parents. For those of you who don't know me, my mother's Japanese. Can you kind of tell by my eyes? I'm half Japanese, and I grew up eating Japanese food, and I loved it. That was my favorite food, even though my mother was kind of discouraged from making Japanese food by my American father. Because at the time, got my tea here, my parents met right after World War II. So if you can imagine, a few years after World War II, Americans were not very popular in Japan, and Japanese were not very popular in America. Well, my father is from North Carolina, and when he brought my mother there to introduce her to all of his family, they weren't very happy with that. In fact, they weren't very happy at all that they had two grandchildren that were half Japanese, and we looked very Japanese when we were young. We had really dark hair, and our eyes were obviously Asian looking, and our skin was a lot darker than the real pale skin of the blonde, blue-eyed people in my family, in my grandmother's family. They were all kind of light colored. So, that wasn't the most popular thing at the time. So my father told my mother, my kids are Americans. Don't teach them to speak Japanese. We're going to eat American food. And he was kind of like discouraged her from sharing her heritage with us. Got to watch the puppy from time to time. So as a result, my mother ate a lot of Japanese food by herself. And she had a lot of stuff in the pantry all the time, all these unusual things. Now I know what they were. They were kombu, which is seaweed, little squares of seaweed that she used to make broth, and shiitake mushrooms, and she also had a lot of these like little tiny fish with eyes. They were dried fish. Well, they use them in sauces and broths and stuff, but at the time, they looked very strange. So sometimes I would bring my friends over, and I would say, hey, come look in my pantry, and I would get out stuff like the seaweed and the little fish with eyes and, strange looking things in the pantry. And I would show my friends, and they would just be, completely aghast. They would be like, oh, that's gross. What is that? So my husband took the dog out. Hold on, Toshi. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. He's making little messes over here in my almost housebroken dog. So anyway, my mother's food was kind of a novelty at the time. And, later I learned to appreciate it, but not until much later. In fact, I really wish that I had spent more time trying to get more information out of my mother about her life in Japan and about what she ate growing up and all of that kind of stuff. But I did get some good information when I lived in Japan. I lived in Japan for 4 years, and I was in the military, so I was stationed over there near Tokyo, and that's where her family lived. Excuse me. So for the first time in my life, I met my aunt, uncle, cousins, and my grandmother. So I was 20. My grandmother was probably my age. She was probably like 70, but she was in poor health, so she looked a lot older. And I went to their house, and they made me food, and they ordered a bunch of sushi and all kinds of stuff, and they didn't speak any English. I didn't speak any Japanese, but I did get to meet them all, and then I met them over the course of the next few years. My mother came to visit. I got to visit with my aunt and uncle and my cousins, and my cousin's wife is to this day still friends. She's the only one left that I can be in touch with. The other one lives far away and doesn't speak English. But my one cousin's wife, we're going to go to Japan this year later, and she's going to be there and go with us and do some stuff. So I did get, one Japanese relative for life. But I did start to understand the food scene in Japan when I was over there. For example, at my aunt's house, what they would do, they lived in a nice part of Tokyo, and my aunt was a physician, so she had a really nice home. She had, lots of money, and she was doing very well, but still, they had a very small refrigerator. They had a smallish kind of kitchen, not a huge kitchen, not like American style. And every day they would take a basket or two and some bags, back before that was the thing, and they would go out to the shopping street, they called it. And it was not far from where they lived, and they would go to the shopping street, and they would get just a little bit of produce for the day. They would get Japanese long onions and fresh bean sprouts and fresh whatever they needed for the meal, any kind of vegetables, cabbage, and they ate lots of vegetables. And then they would go into a tofu shop, and it was a couple that made their own tofu and sold it just by the square, and they would get fresh tofu for miso soup. And then they would go to the shop that sold fish, and they would get some fish for the day. And whatever, they would just go to different little stores. And then there was an older lady, I don't want to use the word old anymore now that I'm old, But there was an older woman, and she was sitting on a little box, and she was selling little tiny clams, and she would just put them in a small bag and sell them just a small amount, and they would use them for their soup or something. So I understood then that their food was really fresh. They didn't have huge amounts of groceries. They didn't go to big box stores, no Sam's or Costco, and stock up on a bunch of stuff they didn't ever eat. And whatever they purchased, they made into something fresh and ate it that day. And they didn't eat big portions of food. They ate small bowls of rice, soup, and like in the Japanese style of cooking, they talk about one soup and 3 sides, or let's see, in Japan they don't do big grocery hauls several times a week. Abra, yes, that's right. Linda says, I can relate to your story. I'm half Japanese too and went through the same thing as you did. Now I'm trying to use my mother's recipes and try it out. Thank you, Linda. Yeah, it's just, why did it take me until I'm almost 70 years old to really want to go back and appreciate everything about my mother? It's sad. When I had time, when she was here, and she lived here with me for about 6 years, and she lived in my neighborhood for about 16 years in the general area. I had so many opportunities to go hang out with my mother, but I was too busy because I had 4 children I was raising, and they had a million different, let's see what the dog's doing. Oh, he's sleeping now. They had all their sports, if you have kids, they were constantly doing stuff. So I was too busy, and I was working full time. So I was always telling my mother, oh, I'm sorry, I can't do this, I can't do that. Now I wish I could go back. But one soup and 3 sides kind of a thing, what that means is that's a traditional way of eating in Japan. So you would have your, I don't have a picture of that in here, but you have one bowl of soup, like miso soup. Soup's always served with a meal. And the good thing about soup, Abra says they have Costco now. Well, Japan has been infected with the American way of eating already. I know when I go back, I haven't been back in a few years. When I go this year, I know I'm going to see a lot bigger people than I saw in 1975 when I was a station there. But, you get a bowl of soup, miso soup, usually, a bowl of rice, and then 3 other things, maybe some kind of what they would call an entree kind of, usually it was fish, but let's say we use tofu now. So you have a little piece of tofu, or maybe we have soybeans or teriyaki lentils or whatever, and then 2 vegetables. And so you have like 5 things on your tray or on your placemat, and then you eat a little bite of each of your 5 little things, and that's a Japanese style meal. Well, I love that. I love eating that way because it's satisfying. It's not a giant mountain of food. It's a small amount of several foods. So there's a lot of variety. There's a lot of flavors. They have some really good special, vegetables that you don't really hear about in the United States, like burdock root, which looks really strange. It looks like a big brown stick, and they sell them at H Mart. So if there's an H Mart near you, you can buy them there. But when you scrape the skin off and cut it into little matchsticks and saute it in broth, it tastes nutty. It's the best tasting vegetable. It's just amazing. And it's in this book, there's a gobo recipe, G-O-B-O. So anyway, I'm really excited about plant-based Japanese too. And what I also did was I made 2 videos to go along with my new ebook. And the videos, one is for onigiri, which is the rice balls that you make. And I made some new fillings to go inside them. And I even have a new way to make them. So I made a video about that. And then I made a video about the hot pots, donabe it's called. So, Abra says she's half too, and she's 51, been to Japan to meet relatives for the first time. I was touched. Oh, that's really good to know. Thanks for sharing that. That's amazing. You just don't realize. The dog is making a lot of noise over there. Hey, what are you doing? I need to get my husband to come back and get him. So you just don't realize things about your heritage when you're younger, I think. Half food, half Japanese. Oh, she's funny. So, The plant-based Japanese is something I'm really passionate about, because what I've tried to do is I've tried to take regular Japanese dishes and transform them in a way that we can eat them. And I'm going to give you an example, and then I'm going to talk about some other stuff in the bundle. So for example, there is a dish in Japan, it's called okonomiyaki. It's a Japanese pancake. And I made it before, and it's a street food. Here's a picture of it in my ebook. It looks like it's a savory pancake. And in the past, I made it before, and I tried to use chickpea flour and stuff. And it was pretty good, but it didn't taste like the real thing. The real thing's made with eggs and vegetables and flour. So I thought, I'm going to try to make it taste more like the real thing. So some of you who know me know that I've been experimenting with mung beans and making mung bean egg omelets, kind of like a Just Egg copycat. So I thought, I'm going to take my Just Egg copycat and I'm going to make the Japanese pancakes. And I did, and it turned out great. It tasted like the real thing. It was so authentic tasting, and I was really excited to make that recipe. So that's something different. And the okonomiyaki, it has a cup of the mung bean egg mixture, and I make that mung bean egg mixture all the time because I have a YouTube recipe for it, and I was looking at it the other day, and that YouTube video has gotten, I think it was up to 15,000 views, or I don't know, maybe more than that. It has more views than any YouTube video I've ever done. So if you're interested in learning how to make the Just Egg copycat with mung beans, watch my YouTube video called Mung Bean Egg or Mung Bean Omelet or something. And I make that all the time now because it makes really good sandwiches, like breakfast sandwiches. So anyway, don't let me get off topic. So let's talk about the bundle. And I'm going to be going live a lot. I'll be going live on this, which is Ecamm, which broadcasts to Facebook, YouTube, everything supposedly. I don't know how many people are watching, but it's supposed to broadcast to all these different places. But then I'll also hop on and do some Facebook Live quick videos too, to my chef Facebook page, because I have, like, for example, one of the bundle books is about smoothies, and I thought, well, I'm going to make a different smoothie every day from this ebook. But I'm not going to do a whole elaborate live stream like this. I'll just hop on and do a quick, here I am making my smoothie kind of a video. So you'll see some of those. I'm going to record some videos this week cooking the recipes from the bundle, just to show you the variety. So I'll probably record those, and they'll just be on my YouTube channel as YouTube videos, and I'll share them everywhere so you can see them. But what exactly is the bundle? The bundle is at right now, I think last I looked, it was 150 items valued at $7,800, something like that, a lot. So it's a lot of value for $49. So let's see, $49. I had this written somewhere. $7,700. I think it's up to $7,800. So anyway, it is a lot of value for $49. So then people want to know, well, why should I buy that? I don't want 150 ebooks. I don't want 150 courses. I don't want 150 things to clog up my life, because I know people are busy, and some people don't want to spend all this time, looking at content. It's hard enough to manage your life without looking at new content. So what I did was I went through and looked at all the content. I have a list here of every piece of content in the whole bundle, all of it. And I swear to you, I looked at 147 content items in the bundle. And I didn't look at every page, because some of them were like 300 pages long. Like, there were some books in there. So there were some things in there that were entire books, which a couple of them, I downloaded them onto my Google Drive so I could go back and read them later, because they were fascinating. One was a book by Richard Hubbard and it was about his journey in losing a couple 100 pounds. And so I downloaded that because I started to read it and I said, oh, this is really good. I want to go back and read this. So if you have any questions about anything, I'm not seeing any new comments. I see a couple, but feel free to comment, and I will try to answer any questions. So I'm watching that, and I'm trying to remember what I'm saying at the same time. So remember, it's about 150 things valued at $7,800 for $49. So I think they came up with 4 cents per item. So if you think about it this way, if you were going to get my ebook, which I normally sell these for $25, this time, along with the ebook, I made 2 videos. One video was about how to make onigiri, and it's pretty long, and the other one is about making Japanese hot pot, and that one's kind of long too. So it's like 2 cooking classes and the ebook. So just that alone would cost nearly $49. So then if you add the other 149 things, and you think, okay, well, I would have bought her ebook anyway. So now, in addition to that and her 2 videos, I'm going to get all this other stuff. So that's the way I look at this stuff. A lot of times I get things and I don't look at everything. I just kind of scroll through, where do we get the bundle, and what were some of the items that really excite you. Okay, the bundle link is going to be, it should be already be posted on my Facebook page and Instagram, and well, just look at my Chef Julia Facebook page, and then on this I will put it on my YouTube channel today. I'll put it with the next YouTube video that I do. So what were some of the items that excite you? Okay, I made a list because I'm kind of like this. I do well if I look at everything and then go back and look at it. So I made my top 10 list of the top 10 food related content, like ebooks, the top 10 not food related content, and there is one about menopause. Actually, there is content in the bundle about women and menopause, and it's an excellent one. I don't remember the author of that one, but I have my list here. It was one I looked at toward the end, and I remember thinking, now that is really good. But it was, of course I can't find it now, but Menopause Muscle Workout Plan. So it was called Menopause Muscle Workout Plan by Granada Coleman. And it was very extensive, and it was really good. So there is one about menopause. But let me go through it. I'm going to do this top 10 and kind of let you know the top 10. Nancy said, how can we see what's in the bundle? If you go to the bundle link, when I give you the bundle link, then look in there and see what you see. But in the bundle link, you should see it. And let me see if I can get the link and post it on here now, so that I don't have to keep saying to wait for it. I have it kind of pulled up. Okay, I'm going to copy the link and put it in the comments. All right, let me go back to this. All right, I'm going to paste it in here. Oh, I can't believe it, I did it. I'm I don't want to ever say negative things about myself, but sometimes technology is a little difficult. Okay, so my link is on here now, and I think it should work. So if you go to that link, it should take you to, where I get credit for it. So that's the thing about the bundle, is there are 100 something of us. Nancy, see if it works. There are about 100 and something of us who contributed, and we each get credit for the people who buy the bundle through us. So of course I appreciate it if you buy the bundle through me, but I know you follow other people, so I don't get upset if you buy your bundle from somebody else. One of the things about the bundle is, even if you get it from other people, I still get lots of positive attention from it because people see my contribution. And I got a lot of new followers last year that found me through the bundle. Okay, Nancy said it works. Okay, all right. Yay, Nancy. It would be so cool if after this is over, I go back and see that I've actually sold some bundles. That would make me feel very good. So, what were the top 10? Okay, the top 10 food-related ones were, believe it or not, Chef AJ posted a little book about Goodman's Peanut Chews. Goodman's Peanut Chews were this special dessert kind of thing made with nuts. Hey, Toshi, quit that. What are you doing over there? Quit making so much noise. And they're made from peanuts, dates, and chocolate. I'm going to make those today. In fact, I think I'm going to make a YouTube video and make them on YouTube. And then I'll post the YouTube video so that I could share it with everybody. That was one of them. And then there was another one called 20 Oatmeal Recipes by Ellen Allard, Allard. I love that one, and I'm going to make one of her recipes, which was, it was called Pecan Pie Oatmeal. Oh, it sounded so good, and I eat oatmeal almost daily, so I'm going to make her oatmeal. Elspeth and Carly Feldman. Elspeth and I have done some live streams before, so I know her kind of. She's called the Speedy Vegan. Lovely, beautiful woman. And so nice. Well, she and her daughter did a series on French, Indian, and Thai cuisine. And not only does it have this huge recipe book, it has all these videos that go with it. And they're really well done. I was really impressed. In fact, I was really impressed with the bundle content and how professional looking everything was. And it really made me think, I have a long way to go to get mine up to par, because, it's hard to do things as professionally, but they had some really good ones. So Elspeth Feldman, French, Indian, and Thai. And then there was another one, number 4, is the Happy Vegan Couple Mexican Food. And this couple, they call them the Happy Vegan Couple. They did an ebook on Mexican food, but it was so good. I have my own classes on plant-based Mexican food, so I know how to make all that stuff. But I'm thinking about you guys, and who are always asking me about recipes for burritos, tacos, enchiladas, beans and rice, and all these typical things. Well, they're all in this one ebook, which is great, because then you don't have to look in all these different places. So I love that one. In fact, the ones I really love, I already downloaded them to my computer. And then the ones I really, really like, I'll probably print them. I know that's old school, but I print stuff out. Like whenever I have an ebook like mine, my ebooks are not that long. This is like, 60 pages. I just print it out on 2 sides, and then I have it. I don't have to look on my computer. But, I know a lot of you in the younger generation are not, you're more electronic oriented. Toshi, hold on for a second. No. Hey, Steve. No. My husband's coming to get him. Sorry. Emergency. My husband's coming to get him. He's got all my expensive wooden bowls on the floor. And also, look, Steve, on the table here. Okay. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm telling you, having a puppy is insane. So anyway, get the Happy Vegan Couple Mexican Food. So yeah, print your ebooks out. The way I like to do this is I find a few things I really, really like maybe the top 10. And then I download them, and then I can go find them on my computer. Or if I really want them like a hard copy, I'll print them out, especially if they're not very long. So then there was another one. Oh, hey, Jiro. Here's my big boy here. Here, come say hi. Ooh. This boy is so big I can't lift him anymore. That's Jiro. Come here, Cammy. You come say hi. And then, my sweet little girl, Cammy. She's not so big, but she's getting big. Okay, you guys go out. Go out, buddies. They're my helpers. Heather Dahman, Dahman, her ebook called Garden Gourmet is good. Oh, stuff from Well Your World. Oh, Terry said she bought it. Hey, thank you. Jiro is my sweetie, Nancy. Yeah, I didn't write Well Your World down because I ran out of all my favorites, but they have a part 2 of their thing, and they have really good stuff. And Heather Dahman's Garden Gourmet, I'm going to make her carrot cake energy balls. I'm going to do a video of that. I think that'll be good. One of my favorite people is Kathy Hester. I love Kathy Hester. I'm going to be on her show. I think it's Friday. And Kathy Hester wrote an ebook called Summer Bundle. And I really like that one because she has all these really good recipes in there of things that I like to make. So I like that one. But another thing that Kathy Hester did that I really enjoyed was called Thriving on Starch. And I don't know if you follow her as closely as I do, but Kathy and her partner, they did the 12-day McDougall program recently, 6 months ago or something, and because they were facing some health concerns. And so they did really well, and they've been able to improve the amount of medicine they take, maybe got off some medication. So, but Kathy wrote a book called Thriving on Starch about her experience going on the starch solution to really make a significant change in her health. And it's really well done. I mean, that's another one I want to go back when all this bundle stuff is over. I've got this list so I can go back and read her story about the starch solution and what she did, because I like her and her partner, and I think, can't remember her partner's name, or I would say Cheryl. I like Kathy and Cheryl a lot, and I want to hear how they did it because they're people I really like. And Kathy has worked so hard to influence the plant-based lifestyle and make really good cookbooks. I mean, it's so strange, I have her cookbooks here in my house, several of them. And now I kind of feel like she's a friend. So, I was buying her stuff years ago. And then another one is called Plant Powered by Kim Murphy. It has 272 pages of content in one ebook. It's like a book. So that's something that there was so many things in there that I wanted to go back and look at. So that's another one that was a favorite. Nan Simonson has a book called Aging Powerfully. It was great. So, aging powerfully, that's an interest of mine because, I'm kind of in the group of people that, people call us. Jackie says, Kathy is an amazing soul. She really is. She's so kind. But, aging powerfully, I like the way that sounds because that's how I think of myself. I don't identify with being older in a negative way because, people, they speak negatively about older people in this society. There's this ageism, like, oh, that person is that elderly person. Or I've heard a male chef in the local area call somebody an old crone. I was like, what? I wonder if Jill from the Plant-Based Cooking Show is in there. No, I did not see anything from Jill in the Plant-Based Cooking Show in this bundle. But I'll tell you in a minute the well-known people that I did see. Okay, and then Nutmeg Notebook has a new one called Company Dinners. And I like her. She's got so much stuff out there. But she has a really long new ebook called Company Dinners, and she's got all her special cuisines, kind of like this type of international meal. And, Elise Fox just purchased. Great, thank you, Elise. I appreciate that. But, just Nutmeg Notebook's course on Company Dinners is probably worth more than $50. So if you were going to get that anyway, get the bundle. And then the top 10 well-known people that I came across in the bundle were Plentiful Kiki. Everybody knows her, right? She's got a contribution in there, and it's pretty good. And then Kathy Hester, and then Chuck from Brand New Vegan. So I can't think of his last name. Somebody tell me. Underwood. Chuck Underwood from Brand New Vegan. He has an ebook called Soups, Chilies, and Stews. Well, I'm going to make his tortilla soup sometime in the next few days. I'll do a YouTube video on it because I thought it sounded like a good one. And that's one thing I've never really made, a good tortilla soup, because, I used to love, chicken tortilla soup back in the day. And that's kind of been my, baseline tortilla soup. So when I've tried to make it, it didn't taste very good. So I just never continued making it. But now that I have a really good method for making crispy tortilla strips in the air fryer, I thought, I'm going to try to make his tortilla soup and use my strips. So we have Chuck Underwood, Shane and Simple. How many of you have heard of Shane and Simple? Everybody. He's got a contribution. Brittany Giroudi, she's got a couple things in there. I can't remember what they are, but they're good. She's very popular. And Broccoli Mom. Have you ever heard of Broccoli Mom? She's in England, and she has this very, very wildly popular Instagram page. And she has little kids, so people who have younger families can really, hop on board with her. Let's see, Mick the Vegan too. Okay, great. So yeah, as somebody who's buying the bundles, you can look on your computer and go through and tell me things that you see that you like. I'd be happy to know what you're seeing that you like, because I went through to see what I liked, and so far I've found a lot. Drina Burton, Drina Burton has Drina's Kind Kitchen. That's her latest book. She has that's not in the bundle, but she has other content, like a bonus section for that book, and then she contributed some other content that she made that was good. So she's very talented. Kathy Fisher, everybody knows Kathy Fisher with Straight Up Food, so she has a contribution. Melissa Maris, she is the bundle coordinator, and Melissa, her raw food romance, she's extremely famous. Jackie says, I love Broccoli Mom. She does some great stuff. Yeah, she's really, she's very quick at what she does. She just throws a bunch of stuff together, and she does it really fast, and she's really good. And then Chef AJ, of course, or the well-known people. I've just picked 10. Oh, and I meant to say, my friend Rachel Detroit also did 5 ebooks called Super Simple. Super Simple Fast Food, Super Simple Lebanese, Super Simple everything. And they were so cute. And I'm going to make one of her recipes too. She and I are buddies, and we're going to go live together, I think twice. And I like her. She's young. She's the age of my kids. And we just get along. She's somebody I enjoy. So I'll be doing some stuff with her. But she's got 5 contributions that are very good. And so I have the top 10 that are not food related. There was a really good one called Labs, L-A-B-S, Lab Work. It's about lab work, and it's by Dr. Marbus and Brittany Giroudi, and it also has recipes in it, because that was Brittany's part. And what I liked about that is it goes through and tells you all the labs we should be getting, all the lab work we should be getting, and then it tells you what lab values are optimum. So what you should be striving for, what you should be looking for. And I thought that was extremely valuable. That was another one that I actually downloaded it, and I'm going to print it out probably if I can. It may be too long, but I'm going to look at it. Oh, Abra, I'm sorry to hear that you can't get it right now because you're on a budget, but if there's any way you can scrape together the $49 between now and March the 10th, I sure would encourage it, because it would be like a year's worth of stuff that you wouldn't have to buy if you got it, during the bundle period. Lisa said, Super Simple sounds like my speed. Think I'll be checking these out. Yeah, Lisa, her Super Simple, my stuff tends to not be super simple just because that's me. But, when I see people that make those things, I'm happy, because a lot of people ask me for that. And they ask me to simplify what I'm doing more, which I never do. Okay, and then on the not plant-based, not food, there was one called Age Well with Strong Bones by Sid Nodder and Ellen Kopsaptis, who's I think she's a physical therapist, and Sid Nodder is a chef, or I don't know if she's a chef, but she writes plant-based food things. age well with strong bones. Okay, another thing for women, you know, not just older women, but women in general. Women have issues with bone strength. We do. It's just a part of our anatomy, a part of going through different stages in life. So as you get older, it's harder and harder to have muscles. So, you know, I do have muscles because I work out, I weight lift all the time. And so that goes to show you that even at nearly 70 years old, you can have muscles. You can have strong shoulders, arms, legs. My body's very muscular considering, you know, the age group I'm in. So you can have strong bones and have good muscles in your body, but you have to do something to get that. And I don't think enough attention is being paid. Jackie says, I admire you because you make room for others and you're open to learning. Oh, thank you, Jackie. Yeah, I mean, you know, there's room in this world for lots of people to be successful. So, you know, I'm happy for their success. I'm just pleased to see people doing well in this world. And if I can mentor them, like, you know, I tried to mentor Rachel in the beginning, and whenever I see how well she's doing, it makes me smile because, you know, it's like raising your kids. When they do something, you know, you feel proud of them. So yeah, that's a good way to live in this world today. So yeah, the bone, age well with strong bones, Sid Nodder. And then number 3, Ellen Majors, Sexy Fit Vegan. I am really interested in fitness and weight training, strength training, anything you can do to preserve this one body we have. And I loved her contribution because, you know, it showed a lot of information about how to get fit. And she's very fit. So look at that one. And another one, exercise, was Nina Chattel, Exercise Platform. This was an exercise platform that had a library with 100 exercise videos. Okay, so think about this. You get this in the bundle, you get 100 exercise videos, and she gives you 50% off of a personal session with her. So I'm thinking, I belong to an app called the Ladder app, and it's a weight training app. So you can't see it. Maybe you can if I adjust my camera. Well, I don't think you can see it, but I have a whole set of weightlifting things right over here in my kitchen because I also use this room to do these little 30-minute weight training sessions on my own when I'm not seeing my trainer. I see my trainer 2 times a week for an hour each time, but then in between, I'm working on other things that we don't do in training, and I do it here. Well, I use an app called Ladder. It's $30 a month. And they have a workout every day. And it's a 30-minute workout, and there's a different one every day. And then, you know, the next week there's a different one. But, you know, if you're on a budget and can't afford a $30 a month app, then, you know, this exercise contribution by Nina Chattel, you can get 100 videos and just have them to look at. I think that's great. There'll be a link there that you can access them. Richard Hubbard, his plant-based journey, I already talked about that. I really liked, you know, his because it was very detailed. He talked about his childhood. I've been reading it at night, and he talked about how he grew up and the type of food he ate and how he was treated as a child. I'm always fascinated by those kind of stories. So it's called Richard Hubbard, A Plant-Based Journey. This is another good one. You're Only as Old as Your Arteries by Stephanie Spencer. And I love that. She's a nurse, and she has a series of videos that she filmed talking about the whole food plant-based way of life, and she talks about the health effects, and it's kind of refreshing because it's not the same doctors we've been hearing over and over, and I think you know what I mean. We hear the same male doctors, which they're great, but it was nice to hear a refreshing new person I hadn't heard before. And I listened to her lecture about kind of the opening lecture where she talked about, you know, having the best arteries you can have for obvious reasons. I'm drinking decaf green tea, which I love. Okay, then yoga for all bodies. This one was really good because the yoga teacher is kind of on the heavier side. So she's trying to say that you don't have to be a model, thin, perfect person in your Lululemon outfit to do yoga and do it well. She's kind of saying anyone can do yoga at any size, at any age, and it's for everybody. And so she has all this great content, and I think that thing is worth a lot of money, what she's contributed, because if you went online and tried to take her yoga course, it'd probably cost you $100. I don't know, but some of them, when I logged in to get my free bundle course, the price was listed on a lot of these things as $80, $99. Some were even more. And then you just put in your code and it goes to zero. So, I'm going through there going, man, I've gotten hundreds of dollars worth of stuff that I just personally downloaded in the last few days and didn't even look at all the bundled. And then here's another one, podcast guesting by V. Lynn Hawkins and Kathleen Gage. So this was an ebook about how to be a successful podcaster. And, it had, a lot of good information. Now, I don't do podcasts, but a lot of people seem to be starting them, and there's a lot to know about that. So even for the business side, there were tons of content about the business side of things. If you were a whole food plant-based person that was trying to start a business, there were a lot of really good content about that. I don't have them all, but just lots of them. Gut health, in addition to my top 10. And there was a lot of stuff about child-friendly things too. So if you know somebody who has young children, there were some kid-friendly recipe books. There were some, how to deal with picky eaters. There were a lot of contributions about gluten-free recipes and just stuff, any special need gut, or I talked about inflammation. There are some MS authors who have multiple sclerosis and had contributed an ebook about that. So every kind of topic. And I don't know if this list, I got a list of all the contributions and the recipes and all the stuff. I don't know if it's published with the bundle, but I'll check on that and see. So those were the top 10 not food ones. And then there were also a number of coupons. So in addition to the food stuff, there were some coupons to get, where'd I put that? To get money, to save money, like Date Lady and Plant Strong, and I don't have my list here, but I thought I was so organized when I started to do this. But anyway, there's a bunch of coupons as well. I'll probably find it as soon as I get done here. Of places where you could get some really cool stuff. There was one coupon for this company that makes a bunch of baked goods, and that was like $15 off if you bought 4 things, and they looked really good. I was looking at it to buy some stuff, and then I had to stop myself because I said, I don't need to buy somebody else's baked goods. I make all kinds of baked goods. So I just made myself stop. Oh, here we go, I found it. Finally. There's First Seed Foods, which is an Indian food, frozen food company, 20% off. Date Lady had the 15% off. I bought some date paste because I need it for one of the recipes I'm making. So I bought date paste. Hopefully it'll be here soon. And got my 15% off. Plant Strong saved $10. And you can get group coaching with Plant Strong for $7 for the first month. Plants Only Gifts and Gear, they make a lot of t-shirts that have, plants only and plant stuff on there. And then Tracy's Real Foods, that was the one I was trying to think of, the baked goods, where they have these really good baked goods that look delicious, cookies and muffins and granola. And this is the kind of thing where people ask me a lot of times, they say, I'll post a picture of my food and they'll be like, oh, can you just sell that to me? And I don't sell my food to people. Sometimes I give it to people, but I don't sell it. And so here's a place where you can actually buy oil-free, plant-based baked goods, and they look really good. So give that a try. What I've ordered already, I ordered the date paste, but I also ordered Say May tea. They actually have an ebook on tea, That's Seimee. And Seimee has unforgettable coffee alternative, and I always have a lot of this around. It is made from roasted and ground whole brown rice powder, and it makes a really good cup of coffee that's not coffee, no caffeine. And it's also good in baked goods, so I've put it in chocolate things. But I had a cup of this yesterday. If you're craving a hot beverage, and like me, I don't drink coffee anymore because any amount of caffeine raises my blood pressure. I don't know why, but it does. And so I've kind of gone to just having nothing but decaffeinated stuff. And so it's nice to have a decaf coffee that tastes good. I don't really like the taste of just regular decaf coffee, and some of it does have caffeine in it. In fact, a friend of mine told me that whenever she had decaf coffee at a restaurant, it kept her awake all night. Well, that happened to me in Mexico. I ordered decaf coffee earlier in the afternoon, and they swore to me it was decaf, and I was awake all night. It was like my mind wouldn't shut down. So I don't like decaf coffee. And then I ordered it's called Edible Tea Sencha Green Tea, and they make a decaf tea powder. So I usually have matcha tea. I have a whole thing. I don't know if you can see over here, but this is my smoothie station over here where I make my smoothies every morning. And I have matcha tea there. I have matcha tea powder. Well, I don't use it anymore because it has caffeine in it. So I'm going to have sencha tea powder, and I'll use that instead of the matcha tea powder for my smoothies. But I'll also put it in my hot water and drink it as tea because, you know, I'm sure these are tea bags from Republic of Tea, and they're good, but powdered tea and freshly brewed leaf tea tastes better than tea bags to me. So that was something I ordered. So there's a lot of stuff to order that you can get money off, and then you can get a discount, you can get free stuff. So there's some of that in the bundle too. And also, make note of this, I'm going to be on the Chef AJ show Sunday at 4 o'clock Central Time, okay, 30 minutes. And I will be making a Japanese dish from my ebook, in case you missed the beginning. It's the plant-based Japanese 2. I'm going to be making my onigiri rice balls with fillings, chickpea, tuna, mayo. It's delicious. I'm going to be making that fresh on Chef AJ. So please, everybody that follows me, I would just love it if you watch the Chef AJ show on Sunday and comment something positive about me so she sees that I have people that follow me, because I think that's cool. If your people say something, because I always do. If I see anybody I know, I always write comments about them because I want them to know that I'm there for them. So I'll be on Chef AJ, I'll be on Kathy Hester Friday. I will be on, I'm on several people's shows this week. So if you see live streaming and you see me on there, come on and support me. You know, even if you've already bought the bundle, it's still fun to see what we're doing because we're going to be cooking one another's recipes. So in addition to making my own recipes, which I will be doing this week, the next 10 days, I'll be making some of my recipes. But I have a list of recipes that I'm going to make that I found in the bundle. So who wants to hear my recipes? Let's see if anybody's still watching this. You're probably so bored by now. It's been almost an hour, and I'm still going strong. This could be like one of those marathons where the person's just going on and on and on. And I'm going to do this the last day. So March 10th, I am going to go live, and I'm going to keep going live and recap all the bundle stuff. Yes, Nancy's still here. On the 10th, and that way anybody who's forgotten to buy it will know, because, okay, Linda, hey Linda, great. Every year this happens to me. It'll be a week or two after the bundle, and these people will say, hey, I want the bundle. And I'll have to say, I'm sorry, but it ended on March the 10th. Oh, I forgot all about it, or I didn't realize it was ending then, or whatever, and it's too late. And then they get really mad because they knew it was going to be a good deal. Okay, Raina, thank you. Okay, so here's the things I'm going to cook from the bundle. I'm going to make, from the Date Lady cookbook, the Date Lady actually submitted some recipes, homemade Snicker bars. That's what I need the date paste for. They look incredible. And I've made kind of date snicker things before, but this is different. So I'm going to make Date Ladies homemade sticker bars. I'm going to make peanut butter chocolate chunk cookies. I didn't write down whose recipes these were, but I know where they are because I have the recipes saved. I'm going to make fig nice cream with balsamic glaze. And this was from California balsamic. I have this fig balsamic vinegar. But I'm going to make fig nice cream. And I'm going to use my fig preserves in it. And I'm going to use bananas because I couldn't find fresh figs in the store. I was going to get fresh figs, but I have fig preserves from my fig tree outside. So I'm going to use that. Why not? I'm going to make Chef AJ's Goodman peanut chews. I'm going to make that today. Lisa said I managed to watch the video and download the bundle at the same time. Yay me. Okay. Hey, Lily Wong. So see, look, that's somebody, she's probably a very techie, smart person. I can only do one thing at a time usually. And then I'm going to make tofu egg salad sandwich. Egg salad, not sandwich. I may make a sandwich. And this is from the Spring Inspiration collaborative book. And I wanted to show that to you because this is actually a really cool thing. I have the cover page of it somewhere around here. This is something that is new this year. What we did was, and it's the first contribution in the bundle, they asked all the bundle authors to submit a spring-themed recipe, and they turned it into a 2024 bundle group cookbook. And it has 70 spring-themed recipes, and my recipe's in here. It's called Mushroom Donburi Bowl, and it was so good. And I couldn't even remember that I submitted that recipe until I was looking at it going, did I submit a recipe? And then I found it and I said, oh my gosh, I forgot about that recipe because it's not in my ebook. So, hi Clem Melendez, how are you? Thanks for making my recipe for the copycat Chipotle. I know you love it. I always enjoy seeing your posts. So anyway, that Spring Inspiration ebook is in the bundle, and it has a bunch of really good recipes. So don't forget that one. And I'm going to make, there was one in there called tofu egg salad, and it was different from the way I make it, so I'm going to try it. And I'm going to be making spicy Mexican tortilla soup from Chuck Underwood's brand new vegan soup, stews, and chilies. I'm going to make pecan pie oatmeal. I'm going to make something from Elspeth Feldman's French ebook, and it's a salad dressing with shallots. And it doesn't use any kind of tahini or any kind of cashews. And I'm in need of some dressings that don't rely on cashews because I use those a lot. I'm going to make carrot cake energy bites from Heather Dahman's Garden Gourmet, which I thought sounded delightful. I'm going to make almond butter Japanese sweet potatoes. That was one of Rachel Detroit's recipes. I'm going to attempt to make the wraps from Melissa Maris's Raw Food Romance. She's known for making these wraps, and they're made with sweet potatoes and onions and different vegetables that are processed in a blender, and then they're mashed up and they're spread out on a silicone mat and dehydrated. And then they become like a wrap that you can wrap vegetables and whatever you want in it and make a sandwich. And what fascinated me about those is that a lot of wraps are made from flour, you know, like wheat flour, and a lot of people are flour sensitive. They don't like, flour is not really helpful to them in losing weight and stuff. So I thought it would be nice if I learned how to make something that didn't rely on flours. Excuse me, flour. Oh. And still could be used as a wrap instead of a tortilla. It looks a little complicated, so I'm not guaranteeing you that it will turn out. I probably won't film the whole thing. I'll probably make a reel. That way I can do it in steps. There was a, excuse me, there was a pizza ebook called just Plant-Based Pizza by Rebecca Stoner. I'm going to make pulled mushroom pizza. And she uses, she's using spelt flour. So, and that sounded really good. I liked the fact that she was using king trumpet mushrooms, because I've been using those lately, and they were very, I hate to use the word meaty, but they have that, chewy texture, really good. Let's see, and I'm making Rachel's almond butter Japanese sweet potato. I am going to make raw chef Yin. I don't know if any of you are familiar with raw chef Yin. She is in Singapore, and she is the cutest, most talented raw chef, and she's Asian. I don't know what nationality she is, but she is very talented. She makes desserts, and she has a dessert ebook, and it's full of really unique desserts. And I'm going to make her matcha ice cream, because remember, I have all that matcha powder. I'm going to make matcha ice cream, but she uses a blender. I'm going to use my Ninja Creamy, since I have one, and make the matcha flavored ice cream. So those are the things I've got written down so far. And then I'm probably going to add a smoothie a day. So my plan, there's one of these ebooks is called something smoothies. And I didn't think of this until this morning, because I was thinking, how could I go live briefly, like Facebook Live, on my chef page? It's not going to be like this streaming everywhere. It's just going to be a real quick Facebook Live, and make something really quick. And I thought, well, I have smoothies every day. It wouldn't take much for me to make a smoothie from the smoothie ebook and show you a different smoothie, and share that with you. So I'm going to do that. I'll probably make a smoothie a day. I'll make one of these recipes. And I wanted to ask you all who are still watching, if there's something you want me to make from my ebook, Plant-Based Japanese 2, if you buy the bundle and look at my ebook and pick a recipe you want me to make and request it, I will do everything I can to make the recipe you want me to make. Just because I know some of my things are unusual and not the easiest thing to find, or maybe not the easiest thing to figure out what I'm talking about. So if you buy my ebook and want me to make something from it, if you buy the bundle and you get my ebook and you want me to make something from it, then let me know what it is, and I will do everything I can to make it. So to wrap this up, I'm excited to be a contributor for this bundle, because it really is the best one we've done yet. It has more content. It's worth more. It's worth $7,800, which is a lot more than before. 149 different pieces of content, and some very famous people. I named a bunch of them. And why should you buy it? Well, we've already talked about you get access to all these things and courses and culinary stuff, and it's kind of like just kind of an overall plant-based lifestyle bundle. So it's not just, I'm going to get some recipes. It has everything. It has stuff about vegan advocacy. It has stuff about just building muscle during menopause, understanding lab work, getting insights into lots of health-related issues that maybe you already knew you were already seeking information about, but there's more information, and it's current, which I like that too. These contributors, we could not recycle stuff. It's not anything from last time's bundle. We had to come up with new content. So, I spent a lot of time making up my new ebook so that I would have fresh new content for this bundle. And my old ebook, this is exciting. This last year's ebook, the woman who published my plant-based breakfast favorites book is turning it into a book. So it will be like this. I'll show you. Which I love this because I don't have a book, but she took my breakfast ebook and turned it into a regular book that you could get from Amazon. So a lot of people have ordered it and they love it. And I use it all the time myself. Even though they're my recipes, I still look back on them. So this is going to be my last year Plant-Based Japanese is going to be a book coming out in a few months. So I think that's exciting. So I'm hoping that she takes this one and does the same thing. So I'll have a series of different they're short books, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be 500 pages to be good. So that's my exciting news, and I like the bundle not because I want to make a bunch of money. It's, it's good. It's good to earn money because I have 4 children and 4 grandchildren and a husband and a busy life. So obviously I love to earn money. But it's not all about the money. It's about being a part of a great community. And also what I learned from being a part of the bundle before is a lot of new people found me. So by appearing on Chef AJ as part of the bundle week and people seeing my Japanese content, then they looked me up on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, whatever. So I gained a lot of new people, which I really like because maybe they wouldn't have found me before. So that's why I'm a part of this bundle. So be looking out for all my stuff. You might get tired of it, but we were told by the bundle organizers that don't be afraid to, inundate everybody with bundle stuff because for whatever reason, not everybody sees your content, algorithms, whatever. So I may be going live, I may be posting all the time, and a lot of people aren't seeing the posts. So by posting a lot, that kind of guarantees that somebody's going to see the post at some point. So don't get mad at me if you see a lot of posts about this bundle and think, oh my God, there she goes again. Just understand there's a reason for doing that. And, I want to give the benefit so many people can buy the bundle and get the good deal, the 99% off. Like if you went into a store, if you went into your favorite shop where you buy clothes and there was a sign that said 99% off, and it was $50 and it was $5,000 worth of clothing, you would be like, I'm getting that. No question about that. Well, that's kind of what the bundle is. It's like somebody saying, if you spend this for this, you're getting 99% off. Well, it's kind of hard to say no to that. To me, it is. So I usually end up with things. And, like I said, get what you want out of it. You don't have to look at everything. So, are there any questions, any requests for things that you've seen already? Those of you who already bought the bundle while I was talking and looked at some of the content, if you see a recipe, it's also for the greater good, which is wonderful. Yes, Raina, that's a good point. If we become plant-based or vegan, we're helping our health, our families, the universe, the planet. We're leaving a smaller footprint. There's so many good things. What I look at is by being plant-based and healthy, is I'm here for my family. My father died when he was 54. He did not take care of himself. He had lung cancer, congestive heart failure. He was 300 and something pounds. He had all kinds of health problems, and he died at 54. I felt so cheated because my father did not live to see 3 of his grandchildren. He only lived to see 1, my oldest one, and he loved her. He was so good with her. So I lost him, and I lost my brother at the age of 59 from kidney failure. Well, infection related to being on dialysis. So he was only 59. And then my mother lived till she was 81, but I'd say the last 20 years of her life, she was struggling with atherosclerosis, hardening of the arteries, and diabetes. And even though she wasn't overweight, she was a smoker, and she ate a high-fat diet because she and my father, they owned an American restaurant that served kind of like Denny's or Waffle House, International House of Pancakes, that kind of food, really, really high-fat food. And that food pretty much destroyed her. She developed all these health concerns because she ate there 2 or 3 times a day because it was open 24 hours a day, and they had it for years. So, I want to be there for my kids. I have 4 children aging from age 46 to 33, and then grandchildren ranging in age from the oldest is 23 and the youngest is 8. So I want to be there for them. I don't want to be, spending my older adult life confined to a nursing home or something. Here I am. I'm getting ready to walk I don't know if you've heard of the Camino de Santiago in Portugal and Spain, but I'm getting ready to walk that this year as part of all the fun things I'm doing for turning 70. So that's why we need to promote the plant-based way of living. It's good for everybody, and it may not be the easiest thing to do, but it's so worth it. So yeah, let's help your friends out. Maybe people that are new, that don't know much about this, you can let them know about it. Share the link, share the information, and they might be interested. That way they can get a lot of information for not a lot of investment. And follow my things, comment. I'll be posting a lot of reels and videos, so I hope that you come and watch some more. And I'll be doing this live thing a couple more times. I probably won't do this every day, but I'll do some form of live streaming every day. It may not be on all different areas. So if there are no more questions, I'll end this, because I'm sure it's gone on way longer, and I need to make my breakfast. I need to go look at that smoothie book and pick a smoothie for the day and make it. So I'll do that, and then I've got to do a lot of social media stuff, because I've kind of set aside the next 10 days to post things about the bundle, and that is kind of time consuming. So thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. Lynn says, are you cooking all the things you named and show on Facebook? Lynn, my plan is to make a YouTube video, so then it'll go on YouTube, but then I could share the YouTube video on Facebook, so I can share the link to it. So, that is something that I'll be doing. Some of them will be quick Facebook Live videos. Some of it will be YouTube videos that I'll share. And then like this one, I don't know if it is, because I haven't used Ecamm that much, is supposed to go to Facebook and YouTube. So hopefully it did. Lisa said, your Kimpira Gobo recipe looks interesting. We have a new Asian market, and I saw Gobo burdock root there. Yes, Lisa, go get some burdock root and follow my instructions. You just kind of scrape off the outside, wash it really well. It still looks kind of dirty, but it's not. You just scraped off the skin, and then you cut it into matchstick pieces, and that's it. And you just saute it in some vegetable stock and the other ingredients with carrots. I tell you, it sounds weird, but that's one of the most delicious dishes in that ebook. So everybody, if you're near an Asian store, get some burdock root and make gobo if you get my ebook. Okay, so did that answer your question, Lynn? Are you going to be watching Facebook, or do you watch other things? Just curious. Because I hear from people that don't have, they're not watching stuff on Facebook. So they find me on YouTube and Instagram. And then I have people that only look at Facebook, so they don't see it if it's somewhere else. I'll see if she answers. Okay, well, thank you all. Let me exit out of here and end this. And I think the recording will be on all my different platforms, so people can watch it later if they missed it. So I will see you all next time, hopefully later today. Bye-bye, everybody.